Control feels safe. That was the belief I lived by for so many years, the unspoken promise humming underneath my days. If I could plan tightly enough, if I could grip hard enough, if I could keep everything in order, then life would obey. Nothing would slip. Nothing would surprise me. Nothing would hurt. That was the bargain I thought I had struck. And yet the more I clung, the less alive I felt. The more I squeezed, the faster life seemed to slip through. There's a strange kind of panic that hides inside control. It looks respectable on the surface. People praise you for being reliable, for thinking ahead, for having everything mapped. They don't see the hidden cost, the shallow breaths, the jaw that never unclenches, the nights spent scribbling lists until the pen tears through the page. They don't hear the quiet voice inside that never rests, whispering, "You haven't done enough. You're not ready. You can't let go." I thought control would give me peace. What it gave me was anxiety. I would lie awake, listening to the ticking of my watch, each second like a scolding. I convinced myself I was building safety, but really, I was building a cage, and inside that cage, my life grew smaller. I remember the image that returns to me most when I think of this illusion. Sand slipping through my hand. The harder I closed my fist, the quicker it leaked away. That is what control has always been. The tighter the grip, the emptier the palm. And so the question comes, the one I cannot escape. What if control is the greatest illusion of all? What if life was never mine to master? What if every storm I tried to push back was never meant to be held at all? The car hums beneath me as the road bends into a construction zone. Detour signs flash, concrete barriers closing in, the headlights bouncing off their warning glow. My jaw tightens as though the road itself has betrayed me, but I know better. The road bends because it bends. The storm rises because it does. The world was never waiting for my permission. Life does not yield to my grip. And maybe that is the lesson. The road doesn't answer to me. The storm doesn't check my calendar. Life doesn't bend to my fist, and still here I am, clenching anyway. If control is an illusion, then what have I been holding all this time? The lie runs deep. It says, master your days, master your work, master your relationships, and you will be safe. Order will protect you, grip will save you, and we believe it because the culture rewards it. Every planner sold, every app designed, every quote about discipline and mastery whispers the same seduction. Control is strength. Control is freedom. Control will keep the chaos at bay. But life never asked to be managed. I know because I tried. I micromanaged every detail I could, only to watch it collapse anyway. I once planned a trip so thoroughly it could have rivaled a military operation. I mapped the streets, scheduled the cafes, timed the walks. The joy was not in the anticipation of the journey, but in believing I had trapped chance in a cage, that nothing could touch me, that life itself had been subdued. Then the flight was cancelled. The weather turned, the maps tore when I crumpled them in rage. I can still hear the sound of paper ripping, sharp and merciless, as though the universe itself was laughing at me. I spent the days not in wonder or discovery, but in fury. Redrawing schedules, snapping at loved ones, missing the moments that might have mattered. I fought the chaos, and in fighting it, I lost everything I could have had. That is the paradox. Control doesn't shield you from storms, it makes you rage against them. And while I raged, life kept moving. Conversations happened without me. Sunsets faded unadmired, laughter echoed in rooms I sat in but never heard. My grip stole not just the peace I longed for, but the joy already in front of me. The world tells us control is safety, but what it gives us is suffocation. I can still feel it in my own body. The stiff jaw, the hunched shoulders, the heart racing at the smallest disruption. And here's the cruelest part. The lie tells us that if we let go, everything will fall apart. But life falls apart anyway. It always has. It always will. No schedule has ever held back a storm. No plan has ever postponed grief. No grip has ever stopped time from slipping. Control is not salvation. It is a mirage. The harder you run toward it, the further away peace becomes. The tighter you grip, the less you hold. That is the truth I resisted for so long. And it is the truth that finally broke me open. I remember one trip more vividly than almost any other. Not because of the places I saw, but because of how completely I ruined it by trying to hold it too tightly. I had been planning for weeks, maybe months, filling notebooks with times, maps, lists, menus. I thought that if I accounted for every possible detail, I could prevent disappointment. I believed that the world was a problem to be solved, that with enough foresight, I could trap life into obedience. I spread my maps across the table like a general before battle. Every line was precise, every stop was scripted. I felt powerful, like I had outsmarted chance itself. But when the morning came, the storm came too. Flights were cancelled, weather shifted. One by one, every line on my page became meaningless. I sat in the airport staring at my ruined itinerary, gripping the papers so tightly they crumpled in my hands. The rage that rose in me wasn't about the lost flight. It was about the crumbling of the illusion I had worked so hard to build. Even when the storm passed, I couldn't. I walked through cities with clenched teeth, redrawing schedules in my mind, snapping at people I loved because they dared to suggest we simply wander. I couldn't wander. Wandering was failure. Wandering was chaos. Wandering was everything I had worked against. And so the trip became a prison. I saw the places, but not with wonder. I heard the conversations, but not with presence. I was too busy fighting the universe, demanding it return to the script I had written. By the time I flew home, I felt exhausted and hollow, as though I had never left at all. That's the cost no one warns you about. Control robs not just your peace, but your very experience of living. It narrows your sight until all you can see are deviations. It steals the taste of food, the softness of laughter, the color of sunsets. Looking back, I see that what I called preparation was really fear. Fear of disappointment, fear of loss, fear of being caught in a storm without a plan, fear of facing the truth that life is bigger than me. Control wasn't strength, it was fear dressed up as order. And it cost me more than chaos ever did. The more I replayed those moments, the clearer it became. Control was never safety, it was suffocation. The tighter I held, the less I lived. The more I scripted, the less I saw. And the world kept whispering back the same lesson. Life bends, storms come, detours arrive. No matter how tightly I grip, nothing obeys. There is a rhythm to existence that no list can silence. Seasons turn whether I prepare or not. Roads close whether I rage or not. Loved ones leave whether I cling or not. The world is not a machine waiting for my command. It is a river flowing as it chooses, and rivers cannot be gripped. I often think about the old saying, "The tighter you grip, the less you hold." I used to scoff at that. Surely holding tighter means holding more securely. Surely strength is in the grasp, but life has shown me otherwise. Try to grip water and it slips faster. Try to control love and it suffocates. Try to cage joy and it withers. Only when the hand opens can anything remain. So I began to notice how control had twisted my days, the rigid routines that left no room for wonder, the panic that surged when plans shifted by a single hour, the anger that surfaced when someone was late, as though lateness was a personal attack. All of it was fear pretending to be orderly. But fear is not the only way. Chaos is not the enemy, it is the teacher. The detour is not the punishment, it is the truth. The storm is not the end of life, it is life. I see now that control is nothing more than an illusion, a mirage shimmering in the distance. You run toward it, believing it will quench your thirst, only to arrive and find sand. But in loosening, in letting the hand open, life becomes water again, drinkable, flowing, alive. There is a strange freedom in this, a freedom I resisted for years but which now feels like the only way to breathe, because when I stop gripping, I don't fall into nothing, I fall into life itself. And life has always held me better than my grip ever could. So I say it now as a reminder to myself as much as an invitation to you. Grip less, live more. The illusion of control has cost us enough. Let the storm be the storm. Let the road detour where it will. Let the sand fall through the open hand. Flow is survival. Control is illusion. When I look back now, I see how much life I wasted clutching what would never stay. Every plan I overbuilt, every day I micromanaged, every time I clenched my jaw against the unexpected, all of it cost me more than any cancelled flight ever could. Truth is clearer than ever. Grip less, live more. I don't say that lightly. It has taken me years to loosen my own fingers, years to leave space in my days without filling it with lists, years to welcome interruptions not as enemies, but as small invitations, years to notice that the tighter I held, the more brittle I became, and that only in opening my hand did strength return. I began experimenting with a little loosening, a day without a schedule, a walk without a destination, a conversation without an agenda. At first it felt reckless, like I was stepping into chaos unarmed. But then something quiet began to happen. The moments grew larger, the laughter lasted longer, the air felt lighter. I could breathe again. It astonished me that what I had feared most, the loss of control, was what finally gave me back my life. Freedom didn't arrive in the grip. It arrived in the release. So I wonder about you. Where is control suffocating you? Where have you mistaken fear for order? Where are you still convinced that if you just tighten your grip a little more, life will finally obey? I don't ask to shame you. I ask because I've lived there too. Because I know what it is to believe the illusion and then wake up hollow. Because I've spent years angry at detours instead of walking them. Because I've learned, slowly, painfully, that the storm was never against me. It was only life reminding me that I was never in charge and never needed to be. So here's the invitation. What if you loosened just a little? What if you let the sand fall instead of clenching it? What if you trusted the river to carry you instead of damming it with your hands? What if you believed that life might hold you better than your grip ever could? Grip less, live more. Control feels safe, but it suffocates. That is the contradiction I began with and the one I leave with. We spend so much of our lives convinced that mastery will prevent pain, that the world will bend if we grip hard enough. But the truth is simpler and sharper. The world does not bend, and the pain comes anyway. The only choice is whether we meet it clenched or open. When I loosened, I discovered something startling. Life did not collapse, life expanded. The storm passed and left clean air. The detour bent me toward places I never would have chosen, but now would never trade. The chaos I cursed became the teacher I needed. The open hand received more than the clenched one ever could. I picture it now, even as the car hums into the night. Sand slipping through an open hand, no longer a loss but a rhythm. The sound of the storm easing, not because I conquered it, but because storms always end. The weight leaving my jaw, my chest, my shoulders. Breath returning. Presence returning. And so I leave you with this blessing, the only one I have learned from all the years of trying and failing to hold everything together. Let go of control. Life holds you better. Let go because you were never meant to grip the world. Let go because the storm is not your enemy. Let go because freedom begins when you do. You were never holding the universe, it was always holding you. Grip less, live more.